Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mirror podcast. I'm your host, Kyle David. If you didn't know, now you know. Yeah. So this week, I was just reading my Bible in Ecclesiastes, and it was talking about, there was a passage that was talking about with increased knowledge can come increased pain. Yeah, with increased knowledge can come increased pain. So we're going to double click into my thoughts on that today. Um, for me, that really hit me because I was like, man, I personally, and a lot of people I know, and I just think our culture in general, we are chasing knowledge so much, right? People want to know everything about everything. We want to know all the secrets to success and how all the knowledge about the world and science and money and our health, which is great. Like we should want to know things, right? Like it's not probably awesome to just go through life knowing nothing and not seeking out knowledge and wanting to be more educated and again know more about things. That's not bad in itself, but I think the idea there, at least what I took from it, is the idea that again sometimes the pursuit of more knowledge and just constantly knowing more literally takes away from the enjoyment of your life. That's what I got from that. Increased knowledge brings increased pain. Is that when you are just spending your life trying to know more and the hours of your day are just filled with gaining more knowledge about the body or science or exercise or money. And again, those things in balance are great, but I think the pursuit of knowledge is in itself is not bad, but if your entire goal and the ultimate goal is just ultimate knowledge of everything, which I get trapped into too, right? If I want to know everything about everything. And I very much could say I really believe that takes away takes away from your quality of life. I think when you're just trying to know everything, you can't enjoy your life, and you can't really be purposeful with your life in the way you live it. Because if your ultimate goal is just for you to know the most, it's a focus on yourself, right? So at some point, the pursuit of knowledge about whatever is really about you, right? I want to know the most. My pursuit of knowledge it's all about me knowing the most so I can be the best. So at a point, it becomes unhealthy. The pursuit of knowledge becomes unhealthy at a point when it's just you seeking knowledge for you, right? I want to understand all of the things about health, nutrition, and fitness, which I do. But it just becomes all about me at some point. I want to have the body that I want so that my health, notice it's just I, me, and my, right? And apply that to anything, right? I want to know the most about money and business so I can have the best results and get the most for me. It becomes selfish at some point. So I think, anyways, that's what really hit me about that passage in that scripture about about knowledge. Increasing knowledge brings increasing pain. That's what I took from it, is that sometimes your pursuit of knowledge can actually bring pain or a lack of enjoyment in life, because you just want to know more and more and more and more. It's just like the pursuit of wealth. It never fulfills. You always want to know more or have more and more and more. And knowledge, I think, can become the same way, as you just always want to know more and more and more. I need to know more. I want to know more. It's a never-ending rabbit hole, because you'll never have ultimate knowledge of anything. Health, science, the world, money, business. You'll never know every single thing. So it almost becomes just this bottomless pit. It's a trap in a way. Knowledge is a trap in a way if you don't know how to balance it and where to stop. Right? You could go into any rabbit hole of knowledge forever and ever and ever, and spend your entire life. People do. They spend their entire lives going down a rabbit hole of more and more knowledge about things. And it's not in a balance to where their life can be healthy and holistically well, and they can enjoy it. Knowledge can become a burden. The more you know, sometimes the more you are obsessed with doing those things and knowing more and learning more, and it can become detrimental to your life. Knowledge is not always good. People say knowledge is power. I think the right amount of knowledge is power, but you can definitely have knowledge in excess to where it takes away from your enjoyment of life. Because again, sometimes, and here's another thought about increasing knowledge brings increasing pain, like that passage said, is that sometimes the more you know, the more fearful you become, because knowledge can turn around and bite you, and you can know so much that it can turn into, you know, so much that you're fearful of things because you have too much knowledge, right? If you know too much about the body, you can become very fearful because you know what could happen, right? If you don't do all the right things, and or in relationships, if you know too much, you can hyper obsess about the way things could go wrong. You know it could go wrong because you have so much knowledge. If that makes so, that is really where I think we have to be careful, especially in this age of information, where we can learn everything about everything and go down the bottomless rabbit holes about any topic. And there's really no end to the information and the knowledge you can get, and it can become an addiction. That's what I really think is really the overarching thing here. Again, this was a scriptural passage I was reading in my Bible. It said, increasing knowledge brings increasing pain. The pursuit of knowledge can become an addiction like anything, right? I need to know more. I need to know more. I need to know more. And that is not healthy. You can argue with me, but there's no way it's healthy when you get to a point with information and knowledge. You're like, I just need to know more and more and more and more and more. You're addicted. You're addicted to information. You're addicted to knowledge. And there's no way that that's adding value to your life. There's a point where you have too much knowledge and too much information to where you're hyper obsessed about it. And other things in your life are not in balance, right? Again, we live in a society and a time where we can become addicted to anything, even the pursuit of more information and more knowledge, which in itself, again, is not bad. It's not bad to know things and be wise and have a lot of knowledge and information on things. But if your goal is just pursuit of more and more and more knowledge and information, at some point that's unhealthy. I mean, if you are a believer, you believe in the story of the Bible, Adam and Eve, their desire was for knowledge and wisdom of that God had that they were not supposed to have. They ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They wanted to know what they were not supposed to know, and sin came into the world. Literally, I don't think people think about that. I've thought about this a lot. The sin came into the world at the very beginning with people pursuing more knowledge and information that they just didn't need to have. That's where it all started. And we don't think about it like that. We don't think of knowledge and information as anything that could be harmful. And I think it can be. I think, again, if you subscribe to the Bible, it's very clear that the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom, or not wisdom, knowledge and information at some point becomes detrimental. It literally ushered in sin. So we have to be very careful. I don't think we talk about it quite enough. I myself don't. I'm glad I was reading that passage and it brought it to mind that our pursuit of knowledge and information, there's a balance there. It can become very dangerous at some point and detrimental to ourselves and the people around us, because our life is not in balance sometimes when we're just chasing ultimate understanding and ultimate knowledge on these different subjects and topics and trying to heal ourselves and fix ourselves. The more I know, the more I can fix myself. Then you don't have to rely on God or anything. You're just relying on your own knowledge and understanding to fix yourself. We live in this self-fixing culture and society where it's like, just go get the information and you can fix yourself. You can heal yourself if you know enough, which is not a good way to live, thinking that you are the one that can go get the answers and fix yourself and heal yourself, right? Again, if you subscribe to the Bible and the belief system that I do, a Christian belief system, we are to lean not on our own understanding, right? But we live in a culture that leans on our own understanding. It just is. And I fall victim to it all the time. Guilty as charged. I'm preaching at myself as much as anybody else. I have to stop trying to think that I can just learn more and know more and fix myself. right? There's some health in being able to have knowledge of how to take care of yourself, but seeking ultimate knowledge, again, leaning on my own understanding, whether it be health or fitness, nutrition, business, money, that's not, it takes away from my need to trust God. I'm trusting myself, and the information I have and the knowledge I have is what I put my trust in. And that's not healthy, and that's not the goal, and that won't lead to you living a fulfilling life. It won't. Leaning on your own understanding, your own knowledge. So anyways, that passage, again, if you want to read it, it's the last verse of Ecclesiastes 1. And it said, increasing knowledge brings increasing pain. And I believe it was King Solomon that wrote that. And after King Solomon had he was they say he's one of the wisest kings. He had all the wealth in the world, all the things. And if you read Ecclesiastes, he's basically saying, this is all for naught, right? You get all of the things, the knowledge, the wealth, the success, and it's nothing. I mean, read it. Go read Ecclesiastes 1. It's wild. Because we're all chasing the things that he had. And he was like, this ain't it, right? This is not it. Knowledge being one of them. He literally ends the first chapter by saying, increasing knowledge brings increasing pain. So that's something to continue to think about for myself. And I need to find a balance in my own life of where is enough knowledge enough? And now I'm just chasing more because I want to know more. And I'm addicted to information and understanding that I don't necessarily need to have all of, or knowing when it's taking away from, maybe I should be spending this time with people or doing something that's helping others, right? Because it's the pursuit of ultimate knowledge and understanding and information is just all about me at some point. At some point, it becomes all about you and me, of us, me having all the knowledge, me having all the information so I can do the things to help me. Again, notice it's I, me. And so there's definitely something there that our culture and all of us need to be hyper aware of when are we just seeking knowledge and information for ourselves because we are trusting in our own abilities. There's a balance there. There's a line. Where is it? I don't know. You need to think about it, pray about it, figure out where it is. But I'm on that. I'm glad I read that this morning. It really hit me and convicted me that I do seek a lot of knowledge and information and understanding for my own benefit, just for me, right? It's all about me. So anyways, I hope that was helpful. Go read Ecclesiastes 1. Even if you don't subscribe totally to the story of the Bible, that's some good information in there. There's some good wisdom that can be very helpful. So anyways, thanks for listening to me. I hope that was helpful. I hope that sparked some thoughts in some of you to go, man, where am I seeking too much knowledge, understanding, and information, and not just being at peace and trusting? And where is that line? I don't know, but hopefully you can find that for yourself. So this has been another episode of Inside the Mirror podcast. I'll be back next week with a special guest. You'll find out then. And until then, stay safe, be well. Thanks for listening. Adios.